So this Hangout is live on the air, thanks to the learning tool. So this is live on the air. That was the feature we didn't hit last week.
Right. So so far, no feedback problems. Karina,
not from you.
Like you have a headset. I have a headset.
I don't have anything, and you guys all sound great. So.
Okay. Good.
Well, we're learning the tricks, and that's the thing. Sharon was saying earlier, it's like, well, you know, we'll just show up and do this thing, and learning to do it well and showing up. Thanks, Karina, for coming in. Yeah. It's always much more fun with 3 than 2.
Yeah.
And later on, I think Shannon Miller will be dropping by, and Tara Jones from Bellevue will be dropping by. But so we are. If I watch my clock, it's just about time.
Magical time.
Yeah, we had greetings from Paige Yeager, who, being fully East Coast, may be rightfully going to sleep. And
yeah, that's definitely a drawback to the 7 o'clock time, but I have to say it's a lot easier for me in my life.
That's right. And we have one.
Right.
So I'm going to click the presentation to share.
Okay.
And, oops, no, not share, present. There we go. Now I don't see anything except the presentation, so why don't you start? Sharon?
Yes.
Here we are.
Let's start. Would you like me to start?
Go ahead.
All right. Well, welcome to the 3rd edition of WLMA Chat here on April 27th, 2015. We're 7 o'clock Pacific time, and joining me in this room are a couple other people. So here we are. So I'm Sharon Merrigan. I'm the president of WLMA and the interest group chair of the WLMA interest group of WLA. And we're doing this WLMA chat thing. I'm happy to be here tonight.
All right. Well, I'm Craig Seschultz, and I'm over there sitting on the floor in my library, happy with a bunch of books. But I'm president-elect, and with Sharon, Karina, and Shelby, we got the idea of this WLMA chat going at our last conference, and we're trying to get better at using the tool. So thanks for joining tonight or listening in the archive. Who else is here?
I'm here. I'm Karina Pierce, and I am WLMA's social media chair. And I'm here really representing another event, so I'll be talking to that shortly. And I'm a middle school librarian here in the kind of Tacoma area, and have been teacher librarian for, I guess, 6 years, and loving it. Love my job. Love to share what we're doing.
All right, true that. Well, there we go. You know, the idea of the WLMA chat, as Sharon talked about it and got it rolling, was to have a chance to share news and regional updates. Even the concept of what are WLMA regions is morphing this year. There's been some real advocacy news, and we're happy to share that. And then also some professional development opportunities. And if there is a topic of burning interest, we'll try to fit that in. But I know that we have some great professional development coming later on in the slide decks, but why don't we start? Because Karina, you have 2 things to do now, so why don't you go ahead?
All right, perfect. All right, well, I'm sort of representing a little bit the Mount Rainier region of our group. Our state is divided up into various regions, of course, and Mount Rainier is primarily Pierce County. And one of the things that a project I've been working on for over a year now with another school librarian and then some English teachers is called Cavalcade of Authors West. And this actually, we are modeling this after a sister program started 9 years ago by Michelle Lane, the middle school librarian in the Tri-Cities. And essentially we're bringing in 17 authors from around the country, many of them local, but from around the country, here to PLU, or Pacific Lutheran University, and it's this Saturday, and we're doing writing workshops for secondary students here in Pierce County. And we've got 250 students that are going to be here, and they'll be in workshops anywhere from about 12 to 25 kids for every author. And they get a 45-minute session with the authors they already read and they love, and learning about writing tips and how to get started, how to stay with it, how to write comedy, what do you do to really enhance characterization, etc. And we have a really broad range of authors, and we're super excited. So for our first event on Saturday, like I said, we've been planning over a year. It's crazy that it's finally here. And there are 5 of us on the board. Besides the other middle school librarian, we have 2 middle school English teachers, junior high English teachers, and then a librarian here from PLU as well. And been doing a ton of work and really looking forward to finally seeing the kids interact with these authors. And then hoping we get to do this over and over and over again.
Oh.
So the slide information here, our website is on the slide, and that is a hot link there to our website. And then we are on Twitter and Instagram at Cavalcade West. And if you are interested in following the event on Saturday, please follow us at Cavalcade West and use the hashtag COAWest15. So we'll be posting tons of pictures. Our authors are tweeting as well, and we got middle school and high school kids, so I'm sure they will tweet and use Insta all day long as well. So that's what we have going on, and we're super excited.
That's really excited. I just finished Kevin Emerson's new novel last night. I enjoyed reading Breakout, and it would be lovely to get to spend the day with him. Is there any more room? Is there any more room for people there, or are you full?
There isn't room for students at this point in the planning. It is something the students sign up for and pay for, but we have just put out sort of an invitation to teachers and librarians that are in the area that might be interested in stopping in on Saturday to come and see what it's all about. So again, it's our first year, and we feel a little bit like maybe people aren't totally sure what we're offering, and so we would love to. 250 kids is amazing. We're excited about that, but we've got room for more in the future. So we would definitely are inviting some teachers to come along and maybe see what it's about and see if that's something they want to do next year. But you're right, Kevin is going to be here. Our WLMA does a number of awards, and one of our awards is a Sasquatch, and last year's Sasquatch winner was Royce Buckingham for Dead Boys. He's going to be here. And then a Morris Prince nominee, Morris nominee from ALA, Leslie Bolton, for The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender. She's going to be here. Our local fan favorite, Marissa Meyer, will be here, who's a PLU grad, and she's local. And then Kim Durden, another local favorite author for all of the Western Washington kids. She will be here as well. And then from out of town, we have Allison Noel coming in from California, Mindy McGinnis, Peggy Edelman, Lisa Schroeder. So we've got great talent from near and far. Super excited about it. So Terry Truman, Prince winner, also. So.
Karina, how did the students who were attending, how did they decide which sessions they were going to be in, which authors, which focus?
Yeah, so we put our list out of the authors to the parents a number of months ago, and we suggested the kids read at least 4 of the authors, and so they had a kind of a good variety. And then we honestly put out a list and asked them to rank their authors. So from 1 to 8, there are 17 who do you want to see the most. And we're super proud of the fact that almost everybody, I think, is seeing their first choice author. They're not all seeing the top 3, but they are at least seeing their first choice. And then built into the day as well is a panel. And so we've got 4 different panels of 4 authors. One has 5 at a time. So maybe if they don't see all 3 of their authors, they may be in a panel where they get to see one of the authors they really wanted to. A Q&A panel, and then we have autograph sessions, of course, at the end of the day. So everybody gets to see all of those authors and have their books or their programs or shirts signed by anybody they want to at the end of the day. So
that is so cool.
Yeah.
Just a little bit south of you, and I had hoped to bring some kids up, and I didn't quite get that together, but it sounds like you guys are full anyway. But very exciting, and the idea that you might be expanding this program in future years is someone right down the highway. That's exciting news.
Yeah, for sure. So definitely, I want to see you next year, Sharon, for sure. So
congratulations to you and Carrie for pulling this off. That's very impressive.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we'll definitely share how well it goes, and I think we're actually going to present it at WLMA as well in the fall to let people know more about it and how we got it done, and of course to encourage next year's participation as well. So
excellent.
Really great. And I suspect that it's something that you learned about at conference from Michelle and company.
You know what? Yeah, it was a number of years ago the first time I heard about it when Michelle presented. But I didn't do much about it. I remember a lot of people saying, hey, do we have this on the west side? Do we have this on the west side? And, you know, she kind of said, no, but you're welcome to try. And it was honestly my meeting a different Carrie, Carrie Bradley, who's the English teacher from Curtis, where she was excited about it and I was excited about it, and we simply said, why couldn't we do this? So we pulled in some friends, and here we are. So
that's the librarian spirit, right? Why couldn't we do this?
Collaboration, and it's great. We're collaborating not just with English teachers, but with the college library as well. Right. So we love that partnership, and PLU's happy. They've got 250 kids coming to their campus on Saturday. So it's great for PLU as well. So
win-win.
Yeah. So,
okay.
So I've got to get back to my meeting so we can finish up and be ready on Saturday. So I'm signing off.
All right.
And I appreciate you guys letting me participate briefly.
Thanks for dropping in, Karina.
Bet. Okay. Bye, guys.
Yeah. Craig, we have Carolyn here with us.
Oh, great. Hi, Carolyn. Here I am. I'm just checking, tweeting, checking the tweet channel. I have to successfully tweet. So, Carolyn, that's some pretty perfect. We don't have Margie Van Dyke, do we, right now?
I don't see anybody else here.
All right. Well, I know some people are watching. And so what we should do, Carolyn, is if you're ready, we could just move right ahead to a legislative update.
Yeah, I can give a legislative update. You guys can hear me okay?
We can hear you perfectly.
Okay.
Are you on a computer or on a phone?
I'm on a computer, but I've blocked my video screen because I just got back from a bike ride, so I don't want anyone to see me.
Okay.
Well, you sound great.
Thank you. The legislature, just so you know, the legislature actually adjourned Friday, and they are coming back Wednesday, and that's when all the budget stuff will be done. So we're kind of sitting here waiting to see the final numbers and what's going to happen in the budget. I have been attempting to try and get some discussions going on moving the MSOC dollars out from underneath other supplies and into someplace else. Not being very successful in that, which is frustrating, but at the same time, that will give us something to do next year. It is not just because if we can't do it this year doesn't mean that's the end. I mean, it's something we can continually strive for. In the meantime, I think the study combined with our bill 5294, which did pass and was signed by the governor. Sharon, you missed it, but I do have a pen for you.
Oh, good.
The two of those things combined, I actually had a nice chat with Lucinda Young from WEA, and she said they've actually had a few of their people call their locals, and they sent out the library bill 5294 to everybody. And as you know, it updates the definition of a library and information technology program instead of it just being the school library media program. And what has happened, and there's an emphasis in there on having the certificated librarian. They had a call from one of their school districts. Their local person there said the school district was thinking about just having the principal's wife staff the library, and they actually used our bill as the argument to get a certificated teacher librarian in that place.
Fantastic.
So I think we're going to start to hear more of that. And you combine this updated definition with the information from the study, because the study basically says you do what's in this definition and here's the benefit you're going to see in your school district.
Right.
I think those two things combined will really, from a local advocacy perspective, give us some very good ammo to make sure that A, we're protecting the teacher librarians that are there, but B, adding on more as more money comes in for the McCleary funding. And we just don't know what that exact dollar amount is going to be yet. The MSOC should be somewhere in the range of $289 to $290 in that other supplies and library materials. I believe that's about about an $80 to $90 increase per student. So we can make an argument that really, you know, you can give us $10 of that, $20 of it should be fine.
80.
So yeah,
That's right.
Something should work. So anyhow, so we're going to continue. I'll continue to try as long as the special session's in place to see if we can't get ourselves out from underneath other supplies. But the reality is library materials are there in the MSOC allocation. That dollar, that is going up, and we need to be doing our local advocacy efforts. We've got the library, the change in the definition, and the study that will both help make that argument that they need to be all the districts need to be doing something with their school libraries, and that needs to include a certificated teacher librarian.
Well,
so, and at the very least, the activities that are defined that a school library information technology program should be doing.
Absolutely, Carolyn. I just have to interject for just a second because today, when I was locked out of the library for testing and took my iPads on the road with second and third graders, I was into a database, and lo and behold, our district has had more money to buy PebbleGo databases this year. And by being out of the library and into the classroom with the devices and with the databases, that's some of the MSOC money that is trickling through. But what I was going to say is so significant is you don't want to, we don't want to take this information and talk about it being for our programs and our library, but for our students. And somehow the word is getting through that the students, all the students deserve this. And however the administrators move that money, let them move it for the benefit of the students through library and information technology programs. So yeah. Thanks for all your work down there and the briefing sheets that are on the website and have been very useful. Do you want to talk more? I've had the slide up that showed the signing, but do you want to talk a little bit more about the WSSLIT report? Or
I think we need to kind of sit down. I've got my friends who work for Wine. We did the kind of the press on it and got some. So we have some op-eds and things like that we can put in our local advocacy packet for librarians to get out to their local media. In addition, I have my other friend who works for Wine who's putting together a really great cover to make it look good. So I think the big thing for us right now is to get all the logos together of everybody who was involved in that. And get it looking good and figure out how we're going to get this thing printed and out to all of the districts across the state so they all have this information. Right. But, you know, it's such a very clear, the nice thing is everything we've outlined in our definition that passed in 5294 is what is measured in the WSSLIT report and shows a benefit, and that is exactly what shows a benefit to students. And so it's really good to see also that the WEA and some of our partners are promoting it as well. But it's going to take some time probably to get it out there and make sure that it's useful. But it definitely gives that advocacy boost. You know, we're not just blowing smoke. We actually have real data to show that if you do these things, you can actually benefit kids. So.
Yeah.
I think the confluence of these two things coming out, you know, together, you know, really in the same week, just about.
Right.
What a powerful, you know, toolkit for us all. And it's a busy time of year, and it's hard to, you know, kind of tear your attention away from. But this is what it's about. This is about student success. And like you say, we have the definition and we have the data to back it up. And I also was thinking earlier when you were talking about having talked with Lucinda Young that this is a nice connection with WA. And although, you know, almost all of us, I think, are members of WA, this partnership with this particular bill, I think, has been strong and has been nice to see. So thank you for your part in that, Carolyn.
Yeah. And I think it's good to be able to back up what we asked for at the legislature with real data. Shows that we're not just out there trying to say, we need more money, but we're showing that this is what you can do with your money when you have it. And that the nice thing about that is a message that resonates with both Republicans and Democrats. It's a bipartisan message. So it's good. I think it'll give us some really good boosts going into the future too, as we try to structure ourselves within all of this to be a bit more visible, I believe, in all of the districts, and what the benefit can be to some of those districts that don't have any of this access right now. So I think it's really good. The other thing is I do want to emphasize, because this is, I think, something important. One of the things, and when you talk about the WLA WLMA merger, is that linkage between kind of the extended learning, the summer learning, the lifelong learning that happens when you've got the community libraries working with the school librarians. And one of the things that happened this year is we have had this bill. Last year they passed a bill that had to do with an Expanding Learning Opportunities Council, and it created a council made up of educators, OSPI, and various and sundry other people looking at expanded learning opportunities. And I remember last year having some discussions saying, hey, you need to have school librarians involved in this. Well, this year with the WLA merger, we actually had the opportunity to say, okay, because one of the arguments back was we have a lot of education people already involved. They said, okay, well, guess what? The lobbyist for WLA came to me and said, one of the things we are looking for, this is before session occurred, came to me and said, one of the things we'd be looking for is how can community libraries participate in expanded learning, in summer learning. And so when this popped up, I called Steve Duncan and I said, I think that this is the opportunity to get a community library representative onto this Expanded Learning Opportunities Council. He agreed. We went and met with Senator Billig, who was running the bill. He agreed, added us to the bill, added a community representative of a community library association, or it says a representative of libraries. Added us to the bill, and we have maintained in that bill actually, because I believe a lot of the work that we did on this has moved through, though some of the controversy on it had more to do with how many representatives of people of color and groups of color were there. The reality is the fact that we were there gave us the impetus to give a lift to that bill actually passing, and they passed it, and it is headed to the governor's desk as well. So providing a very clear opportunity for the libraries, community libraries, to kind of show how they work with the education system to provide those other opportunities when the schools are closed. So, we've had a couple of really great successes this year, and I think just some good opportunities to really make sure that we are involved. The other thing is we were also, our school librarians were very involved in helping the Secretary of State's office make their case for the money they needed to ensure that the database programs and other things were kept open at the state library. So that kind of, that linkage has actually provided for some additional advocacy opportunities.
It's just been a really great period. I'm so happy for the Washington State Library that they're funding, and there was a great deal of people using the WLMA-LIT on Twitter and using Facebook, different ways to get the word out. I know that phone calls got out, and I hope that I see some people in on Twitter tonight. There was one here from a violin fairy that I happen to know because she's an MLIS student. She says she knows at least one person who started their work towards getting their dual, their teaching endorsement and the MLIS because of the new bill.
Good.
And filling the pool of available tech-savvy teacher librarians is a great benefit, not only in Washington, but this particular person's heading back to Missouri, I believe, and other people are moving around. The other thing, Carolyn, I wanted to say about your advocacy this year is by encouraging us to do this data merge, we showed the legislature that this database that they have built of student success and demographic and health and dropout and college, all of those informations that are now available at the state level could be merged with our very grassroots OSPI survey into a substantial study. And
Yeah.
I think that we get some cred for being users and producers of ideas and information, finding the information and putting it to use. And you deserve a lot of credit. Liz Coker deserves a lot of credit, and everybody that worked on the project. This little picture on the screen right now, that ALA picks it up and notices it as a significant addition. They're pulling an old photograph, but the point is that there's great things happening in Washington State, and I really appreciate all the advocacy efforts that you put in and day out, and the updates that you provide through the listserv.
Well, you guys help because you know, the more when those legislators tell me they're hearing from librarians, it's good. It helps me a lot.
Yeah.
And the other good thing is you know, to be able to say, you know, we didn't just sit back and assume you would know what kind of good things we're doing in the schools. We actually went out to make sure that we're doing good things in the schools, and we have some data to prove it. I think is very telling, and as I said before, that is legislators from both sides appreciate that we didn't just sit back and assume that, you know, if you put more money into us, things are going to be wonderful. We're showing you that it actually is going to make sense.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, thanks so much. It's been a busy time. I know Sharon has fielded phone calls from people, and I have too as this word gets out. And so, thank you again. And I hope your wine supply holds up.
Yeah. It will.
Okay.
It'll survive. And just for anybody, I don't know how many people are on, but you know, Steve wasn't at the school today. So
yeah, okay.
But he is, since everybody's there, is okay. And
Yeah.
but just been a very surreal. The whole North Thurston thing's been a very surreal experience for the entire family.
Yeah, of course.
In addition to the community.
Strong and deep connections with North Thurston.
Oh yeah. Considering, I was thinking my husband and I, between the two of us, and then our kids, we've had, and then all the family members and everything. There's been somebody from one of our families at the school since about 1973.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a pretty deep connection, and so to have something like that happen has been pretty kind of just very surreal today.
Yeah, it's been quite a day. I was telling Sharon beforehand, it was that way for me too, with my family's connection to Nepal.
Yes.
That we still, you know, pick up and go in and do the teaching and the work that we do, but we say, hey kids, you know, realize I'm a person as you are, and our hearts go out to the trauma for kids at North Thurston today, and throughout the world when these things come up. You know, just like when the Ferguson events first came up, you know, what was the place of calm and opportunity to gather but the libraries in Ferguson. So we hope that libraries, school and public, continue to thrive.
It also shows that you really do need to have kids learn how to use this technology properly. They need to learn how to use it and to make it worthwhile. So.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'm going to sign off.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, and
Carolyn,
let me go ahead.
Thank you.
And I do have a pen for you, Sharon. I'll try and drop it off to you.
It sounds like, Carolyn, we have to go wine shopping together, or or at least wine tasting. So
yes, exactly.
That's great. Maybe Ron Wagner can take some down to ISTE when he goes in June.
Right.
I know that Ron will be carrying the study, so those are probably target dates for us to have publication, because Sharon and I will be going to ALA in San Francisco, and Ron will be going to ISTE, two important but concurrent conferences. So we'll really have that in mind as our target for having print as well as our online links.
And I think that this will be a really good advocacy thing for librarians over the interim and then into the fall as we move into the next legislative session, is to invite their legislators in, give them the study, show them the information, and then show them what actually occurs in the library itself. So it'll be perfect. All right.
Good. Well, thank you, Carolyn.
Thanks, guys.
Carolyn. Good night.
Bye.
I'm just going to scroll back up. This sort of thing I knock together, and it is available to people where, you know, you have the one page available, for people, and people are welcome to borrow that or edit it as they want. On the WLMA website, which is now wla.org/WLMA, all of this is linked well, and there's the QRs. And it's been nice. School Library Journal was the first to pick up on that press release, and so they've got the links up there too. There's lots of ways to find it, and whichever way of pointing is more effective for people, that's the way you should do it. Always consider your audience, and if they need a speedy one page, give it to them, and if they need a link in an email, give it to them. The executive summary was nicely done as a one-page front and back, and so I have copies of that printed in my library, and I think that that's the easy paper handoff when somebody comes by.
Right.
Major findings, we don't need to talk a bunch more about it because they are available, but these were the key bullet points I thought. That absolutely students who attend schools with certified teacher librarians perform better on tests and are more likely to graduate, regardless of school size and income level. And I think for me, the income level argument is the greatest card to play, because libraries are the equity machines.
Right.
They're the opportunity, and so I'm so pleased that the hard data crunching that Dr. Coker did was able to show some of that, and it certainly is similar to what's been found in other states, but again, it was found in our Washington schools with Washington data. Yeah.
Right.
The other bullet points are there. I find that the teaching of information technology skills, and that's where the bill, keeping that library and information technology language rolling off our tongues, is so important, because you can just say, you know, please tell me who is teaching the information technology skills, and I'm actively doing it, and I'm able to do it, and let's get this fully funded agenda rolling and rolling forward. You're full time in North Thurston, right? Or
I'm in Olympia, but yes, I am full time. All of our middle school and high school librarians are full time. We have some 0.8, and I believe 1 half-time elementary, but for the most part, we're pretty well FTE'd in Olympia. It's been a priority. It was on the block there a couple years ago, but our community really came through on that. And I understand that, right, in our neighboring district in North Thurston, that they are hiring and bringing back their elementary teacher librarians at a higher rate than they have been in previous years. And I was thinking about some kind of Google document where we really need to gather this information. What are the gains for next school year in one class? Because I hear it, you know, here and there and around, and I know I need I need it all in one place. And as we see those things come across the listserv and just anecdotally, I think it's important that we're able to trumpet this news.
Yeah, this was a Google map I built. I was doing a presentation last summer in Oregon, where they had their heads in the trenches, and so it reflects mostly that. Pardon me, that. But it's an open edit, and anytime you hear, like you say in North Thurston, if they're bringing back elementary, if people are comfortable jumping right in on the map and adding them themselves, they can point to individual schools or to the school districts. And if they're not, we need to be able to glean that and help add. Because for me, this map, for about a year, there was a terrible bloodletting document. It's like, where have libraries been cut? And that narrative was so painfully told in that Google map that was very successfully added to and added to and added to.
Right.
And I don't mean to be a Pollyanna about this, but I think that we need to own the narrative of renaissance and growth. And so as often as you can to push people to this. I have seen a few other districts adding themselves
Oh,
from.
that's good. And so just to clarify, for my understanding,
Yeah.
you could add a point to any given school, and can you also add a note that says, you know, added or went from 0.6 to 1.0 for 2014 or 2015, 16
Yeah.
school year, or what kind of detail can be added?
Maybe we should attach a spreadsheet with more specific questions. You can take the pin and edit the entry on that pin. I'm doing screenshots, so it's a little sketchy here, but if I go to maps, here you see it right now. So this is live, and we can add a point. We can search out North Thurston. Do you know the name of one of the schools, for example? Okay, well, I'll just click North Thurston. Okay, and I'll drop a pin, and then I can add it to the map.
Okay.
Now, by itself, I think that I can also edit the note. In here, there's the edit.
Right.
I could say, news is that elementary are on the rebound.
Great.
Okay, and this is a fully open document. So, so now you see on the map on the left at the bottom, North Thurston is there.
Right.
And we could even do something like ask somebody in North Thurston, and we'll ask Steve.
Ask Sarah.
Ask Sarah Applegate too. Okay, but the wonderful thing, you know, in a community of librarians, you can create these open maps, and a lot of the Google tools, you can also see who did the editing. But so they've received notice that we've changed the map from where we were. One of the districts that's in there in this Google map is Bellevue School District, and I know that Tara Jones she's listening. She left the group chat. She rejoined the group. Tara, are you there? Are we hearing you? I see Shannon Miller's in our group chat now.
Hi, Shannon. Hi, guys.
Hi, Shannon. We were just going through that library renaissance map. I'm not sure how long you've...
I've been on for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so.
Okay, well, we don't want to make you wait too long. I'm going to try to help Tara Jones get in so she can talk a little bit about Bellevue. But we were there with the map. That's the wonderful thing about doing two things at once. Shannon, Hey, Shannon, do you want to just talk about maybe half of what you had at the end, and then I'll be able to help Tara, and you can come in later. Okay?
Sure.
Does that work for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Are you just going to show the slides then?
Yeah, I can show the slides if you want, and I've got the What's Up with Summer Reading, I think, is on.
Yeah, that would be great. Okay, so I'll just go ahead. So, well, thanks for asking me to be here tonight. I've been listening. I always love the work that you guys are doing in your great state, and enjoyed spending time with you last fall, and so I really like to hear what's continuing there. But I wanted to tell you just a few things about summer reading, and one of them is called I Want to Read, and it's from our friends at Mackin. And they've created a really cool site for summer reading for our kindergartners through 5th grade. And I love it because they're connecting reading and writing together. So go ahead and go to the next slide. And this is what it looks like when you go to this website. And there's a link there. I don't know if you share the Google slides with everybody afterwards.
Yeah, we will.
Okay, and then they can get to that, and you just... What the kids do is they click on the grade level that they are in. So go ahead and go to the next slide. And then it gives them several books to choose from. And these aren't necessarily online. It's not a site for them to go there and read, but I have found some of them to be online, and I've actually found a few of them for free online too. And then they're fairly common books that most of us have in our library, but it also encourages kids to go to their public library and find these books as well. But the neat thing is they can then rate them and give them reviews. So go ahead and go to the next slide. And I think it's so cool how they've done this, because all they have to do is choose the star that they think that the book should receive for the rating, and then to create the review, they just have to slide those little words in the red box over to the other box, and that then gives them a review. And all of the kids that review the different books can see their reviews just with their first name, and it doesn't matter if you're in Washington or Iowa or Colorado, they'll bring them up and they can all see what they think of them. And the neat thing they've done too is they have some really great summer reading journals that are free to download, and so that is also on the I Want to Read site. And this is just for like them tracking their reading and writing about everything that they are reading, and just to make it a little more personal. So just something really cute for kids to connect with. The next thing I'm going to tell you about is Biblionasium. Go ahead. And there's the website right there for I Want to Read. And then Biblionasium, a lot of you have probably been here before to this site, but this is always a great one to review, especially before something like a break or summer reading. And Biblionasium is another free site, and it lets the kids create their own bookshelves and write reviews and connect to people that are in their group. And so like in my library, what I did was I made groups for like our whole grade level, and you can make them for a class, for your library, but it's very, very safe for kids, so only those people in their group can see it. Go ahead and go to the next slide. One summer, what my kids did, and especially my own son Hagen, he went and he found all the ebooks that he wanted to read about the states and other things, and he put them on a shelf, and he made a challenge for himself. So you can also make challenges for your class or just for individual students too, like for your parents. So a cool site to tell them about. Go ahead and go to the next slide. And then Figment is one. I wanted to include one too for our middle and high school kids. Figment is a great one. We have like Shelfari and Goodreads. That's a lot like Biblionasium for older kids. But Figment is one that they can also write and read things that other kids have written. And so it's really cool because it's great for those writers, but also kids who love to maybe critique and give feedback to others as well. And Figment they have different contests and also a lot of different people that come on their site. And also forums for them to have conversations. So it's a really, really great site. Go ahead and go to the next slide. I think I put another.
No?
Oh, no, that's all. So you guys check those out, and all of those things are free. There's so many things for summer reading right now too that Scholastic and other publishing companies are doing, and so just a lot of fun things to give our kids a chance to read and connect in the summertime.
Well, Shannon, thanks a lot. There's a remarkable number of things that you get to come across and share, and it must be fun to keep doing that.
Yes.
And
thank you for having me. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Thank you for joining in. And,
you're welcome.
You know, you and the crew at TL Chat have been instrumental in sort of encouraging us as we move step by step forward on using these tools, and it's just terrific.
I'm glad. Well, I'll come back anytime, my friends.
Okay.
The original inspiration, and then lots of technical and content assistance. So
yes. Well, it looks beautiful in your state right now, so I'm glad to see sunshine. It's dark here. I'm actually in the car, so.
It does look like you're in a car.
I'm buckled in. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Are you driving? Are you moving through space?
No, just now sitting in the parking lot, but we were moving, so.
Library on the go.
I know. Always, right? That's right. Well, thanks for having me, you guys.
Okay.
Okay. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Good night.
Bye-bye. I have to do a little bit of clicking. I think I need to do some invites out to Ron Wagner and Tara Jones. So give me just a second.
Is out there.
Yeah, Tara Jones and in Bellevue. Oh, excuse me, Shannon. What's on your radar for the next couple of days?
On mine?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. What is on my radar? Well, we have Put a Poem in Your Pocket Day coming up on Thursday. And so I was kind of working on a little Powtoon thing earlier today for some 7th graders that are coming in tomorrow. And then there's the Library 2.015 conference on Thursday, which I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to fit that in, as well as our first Olympia School District Tech Showcase on Thursday evening, which we've never done this before, and we're definitely planning it on the fly. We were inspired by Bethel School District, which does a really amazing technology showcase. They just had theirs, I don't know, a month or two ago. I went up there just to see what it looked like so that I knew what I was aiming for. And so we're going to try that out on Thursday night. So lots of things. I think Thursday is just packed, full of exciting library and literacy and information and technology related activities. More than I have hours in the day, I think. So
yeah, well,
that's what's going on.
This isn't quite Hermione's time turner, but like Shannon sitting in the car, joining in, it is a chance. I've sent invitations out to Ron and Tara Jones. We'll see if they're able to come in.
All right.
I'll flip back over to that slide deck for a minute and see what's going on. Oh, I was going to talk about this. I will go ahead and talk about it for just a minute. Coming up in May up here at the Puget Sound ESD, who are really one of the more innovative ESDs around the state. They're offering a free one-day unconference, an ed camp, Saturday, May 16th. And people who've attended ed camps before, it's fun. You go in, you say, hi, I'm here, and if you're interested, I could talk about this.
Right.
And so, yes, we do hear you. Is that Tara?
Tara?
Hello, who do we hear? She's working on it. But the unconference model is something.
No sound.
But we
hear you just ever so faintly.
Okay. And I will type in, Tara, we see you, and we hear you. So she's going to come in and out. She's trying to come in and out. This is learning to juggle, and you know what? It is A-okay.
You're doing a masterful job, Craig.
Well, we're just kind of rolling with it. You build a slide deck ahead of time, and people, you build a little webinar of dreams, and people come.
There you go.
But Puget Sound offers that up on Saturday, May 16th. It's a free one-day unconference. It's not just librarians, of course, is it? It's everybody. And that's an exciting thing, and we should be there. I had a couple other professional development things. I'll just keep tossing in here.
I don't think I have any sound.
Oh.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
we can.
Oh. Okay, I think I might have to pull it up on.
I will put it up
too, because I don't have any sound whatsoever.
Well,
uh-oh.
Let's see. If I do a screen share, you can see your talking points. Okay. Development things. I'll just. She's got sound now. Keep tossing in here.
I don't think I have any sound.
Oh.
You guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh. Okay, I think I might have to pull it up on.
I will put it up. Okay, I see what's going on. Tara's. Well, let's see. If I do a screen share, you can see your talking points. Okay.
He's on delay.
Development things, I'll just.
Oh, I think we lost her, Craig.
Yeah, she realized perhaps that she was watching the YouTube and she was about a minute behind us there. I love it.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out who the fourth person was because I could hear her, I could see her, but the mouths and the voices weren't jiving.
No, because we were hearing her sound.
Right.
And learning on the go. I got in over my head one time. I was clicking like that, trying to present with Steve Hargadin, and some other. Hello again, Tara.
Hi. Can
Welcome.
you guys hear me?
Yes.
And you are synchronous.
I think so. I'm at school, so I don't know if it's the school not being able to handle this.
Okay, well, listen, I'm going to put the slide deck on the screen, and why don't you just feel free to talk about it a little bit, okay?
Okay. Yeah. So in the
there we are.
Awesome. We have some new things to Bellevue. We have been piloting one-to-one at our schools. Big Picture started last year, and Sammamish. We learned a lot from that rollout and have now started a middle school and our school this year. So we now have a laptop for every student, and they take it home, they bring it to school. It's been a really great experience. And we're able to do so much more. The kids are doing research projects that it's amazing. They can do the research in the classroom, and I just wheel in a cart of books. We are fully packed here at our school, so our library is actually used as a classroom. So it's very hard for the teachers to get in there and get the resources. So being one-to-one has just really, we're doing research projects in every class now. And hence my job. I'm also piloting the research technology specialist positions in our district. It's 21st century librarian. I go into the classroom. I co-teach research, technology, and I build it into our district common curriculum. So it's been a great experience this year.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting to hear from you what's going on and to see that they're expanding into a couple more schools next year.
Yeah, we have Interlake going one-to-one next year and getting a research technology specialist. So we're keeping our library specialist, who is a para. She checks books in and out. She shelves books, and she's here part-time. I can solely focus on working with the students, working with the staff, supporting for research and technology.
It's so great, and I think that the way that it's able to support the teachers integrating, I think, is one of the most exciting pieces of that.
Mm-hmm. And bringing those pieces into the
amazing that I can build a research project into the curriculum. Like the 6th and 7th grade migration project, we did research about their home countries, and then they interviewed a family member about their migration story, building in that research so it's not only learning about migration, but what their family background is, where they come from, who they are, so that real world perspective also.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think there is another slide.
There is. I think, is it up now?
I think so.
This is a wonderful piece of news for some people who've got the chops.
Yes, we do have a posting on the BSD website. We're looking for some more qualified people to apply. That's what the problem we're having, is getting qualified librarians. Librarians not only with a teaching cert, but the MLS, and then also experience. We're really struggling to get people into these positions. So please spread the word that we're looking.
All right.
And you can also post that forward to the WLMA listserv.
Yep, yeah, and it was on there last year. We need to repost it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, my house looks across the lake at Bellevue, and those positions are very attractive. The traffic getting there may not be, but the teaching just looks like it's just as exciting as it is anywhere. So
yeah.
we will look
I
forward.
live in Renton, so I drive for the position.
Wow. Wow.
And it's worth it. To pilot this position, to be so hands-on, it's really a great experience. There's one more slide. We will be talking at WLMA about what we've done this year in this new position, what we've learned, tips for co-teaching and collaboration from our process, and we'll actually have at least one teacher with us at the conference to talk. So, yeah, if you want to find out more.
Great.
Do you guys have any questions for me or what's going on this year? How it's working? It's brand new. We're kind of finding our way.
How do you communicate with the other research specialists? Because I know that you're in 3 different schools.
Yeah.
How have you been? Go ahead.
It's been interesting. We work our schedule around what our school needs. So sometimes we meet before school, sometimes it's during school, sometimes it's after. But we've tried to set at least one day a week where we actually meet together face to face. We share what we're doing, collaborate on lessons so that we are building a K-12 curriculum. Our elementary librarians have worked really hard on the curriculum so that it's shared. And we're trying to build on to that. So the skills they've already learned, we're adding and differentiating grade by grade. So,
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And
a lot of emails, a lot of phone calls.
Yeah, right. Are you doing any shared lessons? Are you doing using an online tool to flip or anything like that?
We are doing a lot of OneNotes. In fact, we are currently building a research OneNote. It has all of the steps of the research project. It has, the beginning, the planning stages, the actual resources that you could look at, what we have available for our students here in the district, / what's available in King County. We've been talking with the public librarians about what resources are available at the public library, how can we get more library cards into our kids' hands. So that OneNote notebook is going to be huge next year. Yeah. And that's a big piece.
What a great resource. Exciting.
Well, thanks for sharing. You just sort of picked up and tossed it in. I know you're in the middle of other credentialing projects, right? You're doing the national boards.
I'm working on my national boards, so yeah,
Go home. Yeah. I see you're at school. Go home. But thank you so much for coming in.
Cool. Thanks for I'm going to head home, so I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Ron, I think you've muted your mic. Ron, can you kick your mic on? And you want to tell us there's a slide or something going on down here for you? Hi, Ron.
Hi. Sorry, I have a daughter in the bathtub.
Oh, well.
So I'm up and on, so sorry.
I'm glad she's getting clean, but did you want to talk about this slide at all?
A true multitasker there.
Oh, he is. Ron, he's always game, so he's up and out. The Scholastic group is running 5 reading summits this summer, and they invited Ron if he wanted to attend, and I think we should get the word out to any Wilma member that would like to represent. Ron, I'm just giving you a little plug here. I was saying, you know, we would give away our ticket if somebody wants to go to one of these. I'll show the slide, and do you want to talk about it a little bit?
Sure.
Yeah, we're coming up with about 2 minutes to go, so let them have it.
Yeah, basically, the representative from Scholastic said they're willing to comp someone with attendance at the summit, and then asked, well, if you're not doing anything else, which at ALA, I started looking at other things. I already had Congress on my agenda, so I'm adding IST to it, so I won't be able to make it to Phoenix. But, they'll pay for someone's attendance in Phoenix. You have to go and get there. Okay. The goal, hopefully, is that if someone goes, they say, okay, yes, this is something we want to do in Washington, and we can try to bring it to Washington in the future.
Right. Ron, I thought that was actually on the books.
The offer was on the books.
What? Say that again.
Offer to send someone to Phoenix was on the books.
Right. Oh, I thought there was a Seattle, if not a date, just like maybe a year or something, but
not from Scholastic.
A thought, a vision, I guess.
Right. And their vision is, quite frankly, you know, it's a corporate strategy. They're trying to go to the markets. Right. And as we see funding coming out to schools, you can bet Scholastic will be much more interested in running a reading summit. And so our beginning partnership and having Donna Lynn at our conference and an increased presence is all part of their strategy, but it is one of those things where we're sort of dancing the partner dance. And thank you, Ron, for working with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it just came down to opportunity with ISD tagging along with my Library of Congress training.
Great.
Okay.
For me.
All right. Well, thanks. You know, Shannon mentioned the virtual summit that's coming up this week, and then the virtual conference. And Steve Hargadon, who runs these things, he has said that we will be able to do a pre-conference session from Wilma. So we'll be able to take one of Lynn, what's Lynn's last name? From Australia.
Hay.
Lynn Hay's sessions, and maybe her keynote, and broadcast it out to the Library 2.015 community. It's a pre-conference because their one-day conference is October 20th. But Steve is still interested in partnering, and so that'll be fun. Again, another partnership that just continues to benefit all of us. So
right.
That's fun. Well, good. You know, that's the time. It's 8:01, and in true form, I think we popped through some slides. Did we hit everything?
Fantastic hour of Wilma chat.
Well, it's fun to talk to you all, and I've noticed some people, Joy Thrall and Catherine Grant, Megan Barnes, in following it, watching it, because this Wilma on Air is also sort of simultaneously available through YouTube. So we'll post all those links on that on the Wilma listserv, and also on the Wilma chat, as well as a link if you want to share the presentation. So thank you, Ron. I don't have more to add to the evening. Sharon, you want to sign us off?
I'm signing us off. It's been a great evening. Thank you, Craig, and thank you, Ron. Good night, Wilma chat.
Good night, Wilma chat. Thanks a lot, folks.